Welcome to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we are picking up the series on the 24th of October 1976, and things are going reasonably okay. And if you watched the previous video, there's been a few changes based on some of your suggestions and comments, and as usual, a big thank you for those suggestions and comments, because if you guys aren't keeping an eye on what I'm doing, I'm making quite silly mistakes. Also, if I show you the oil refinery that we were planning in the last part, there's been a few changes. What I've done is rationalize this area a little bit. I've put in the larger fuel tanks. I've reduced the delivery to these two export tanks here to a single road offloading loading capability, which is what was suggested. And I think there's been a slight misunderstanding in the fact that the only reason I've built these is to be able to export any surplus for profit. Over here, I've done a few changes here. I've put in a second fuel output tank, simply because if you actually look at the oil refinery, you'll see that for every 250 tons of oil, we get 125 tons of fuel and 75 tons of bitumen. So to keep this ratio kind of roughly in pace, what I've done is I've put the two tanks here, and then I put the bitumen tank out here. But what I have done is kept the loading separate, because in the short term these could get very busy, simply because until the rail network is fully laid in, I'm going to be relying on these to deliver roads. And moving over to this area, you'll see that I've actually put two plastics factories in. I'm not sure I'm going to build both of them, because this isn't going to be my area for mass production of plastic. That will be somewhere else. What this is going to do is produce enough plastic to keep the shipping industry going, and an electronics industry which I've planned over there, which I'll talk about in a little while. Now, I had a few fun and games laying in the rail tracks here. What I've finally gone for is we've got the rail track coming into the fuel loading unloading here. I've also put in a passenger platform, because I'm kind of thinking that it might take me a little while to build up Petrograd, and if I make good progress here, I can always, and if this track's actually built, there's a lot of ifs. What I could do is actually bring workers in from Portsmouth using the train. And what I've also done here is I put in an area here with a big warehouse here, so that I can bring chemicals in and send the plastics back over to Portsmouth. And I know some of you look at this and think, well, why is this so far out? Well, unfortunately, because of the terrain here, it's the only place I could really put things in. And I've got a road cargo depot here. So what I've done is give myself two options for shipping the plastics, either road or rail. And of course, bringing the chemicals in as well. Now, around this, I've also done some general planning. I've pushed the road out this way, because eventually we're going to have a road and a rail line drilling through the mountain there. I've also put this road in here, and this is an example of, wow, and I've also put a road through here, which is an example of kind of starting off to say, well, I need a road for the center of the Petrograd, so I can build Petrograd up. And it kind of extended all the way across here. So I've kind of got the primary road network in here. I've pushed this road out as well, so I've made a few changes here, in the sense that I've now got a bridge here. Wow. And this road will eventually go all the way out towards Durin's Door. You can almost see the path, which I did with a little bit of practice here. And that should be the road connection over here. And of course, up here, we've got a road connection here. So eventually these two roads will connect and we will go through here. I'm kind of half thinking about possibly a viaduct across this gap, just to go straight into Durin's Door here, rather than trying to go through here. But I could get the road up through here to this point here. And of course, once we're through here, we're going to break out into the other side of the divide. And of course, more importantly, if I show you here, it gives me the beginnings of access up to here, where there's a big pile of coal and iron. But of course, we're going to have to get up there, and I'm not going to worry about that just in the short term. Over in Gravelton, things are going pretty well. You can see I've actually I built this road out here because I've realized that I needed a substation here to power this area. So I've done a little bit of work on the power supply. I think this is being allocated and being built in as well. And once the power supply gets out here, I'll start pushing the construction office, because we'll be able to get power into this fire station here. There's a little electrical substation just here, which I think it's an underground one. I can't remember where the connection is. I mean, in all this yellow, it can be a little bit difficult to see. I definitely put it in, I just can't see it. Now, somebody did talk about the fact that I had a weakness in my supply system. So what I've actually done is I put a small warehouse here, which will hold electro components and mechanical components going forward. But eventually, what I'll probably do is start sending electro components and mechanical components to this warehouse here. I've done a lot more leveling in this area, because this is where my next big farm's going to be. And I was going to start planning it, but I think I might leave it for this part, because we are coming into winter. But just to give you an update with the farming. And the farming's gone pretty well, because I think this is the last field that's still got crops in it. And considering we just hit the 30th of October, we're doing okay. And I think you'll find that there's a truck in here picking up goods. I can't even see there. Yeah, so this is just finished. So we got like 3.13 tons in there. So we're not going to get that much in the way of losses. And that's what the result I wanted to see, is the fact that this farm was able to sow all these fields and harvest them before we got into the really deadly bit. I think we could start to get crop losses once the temperature goes below 0. But at the moment, we're still kind of hovering in there. And you can see I've got 1,427 tons in here. But more importantly, I've got 570 tons sat in the warehouse here. Now, I know some of you are going to say, you should be moving that down to Portsmouth. Well, what I want to do is go through this winter to see how the two places level out. Because what I'd like is to have all this food kept here, so that it feeds Portsmouth and not Portsmouth, Winchester and Expansion City over here. So if I can feed both these two settlements from this food factory in the short term, of course, once the other farms come online, we can start feeding even more people from this factory here, because we'll be able to start shipping the food out. Up here, I've created the road through to what will be the third farm, which will be up here. And I've kind of laid in the rail link here. So we're kind of pushing out this way. And the idea is if I can feed Gosport and Portsmouth from these three farms, and also possibly provide some crops into my manufacturing, things should go quite well. Because you also got to remember is I am pulling some crops from these fields down into this area. And just to show you, we've got quite a lot of crops in here. But I just want to see how this actually pans out. We've got a little bit of a traffic jam here, but that's to be expected. Now, in Winchester, I know I said that the chemical industry would be the last, but what I've done is, why is this guy? I think he's got himself trapped, isn't he? Because he can't get out. Why are you unfinished battery connection? Yeah, looks like he's got a problem with the battery connection. I think I might just leave him there for the moment until such time, see if he can actually, if it gets sorted. If it doesn't, or I just have to zap him and get in. I've got two roads coming in here. I think what might have happened is that he's kind of got a bit lost with this road here, and he's maybe when this road is built here, actually make the connection. Anyway, so what I've done is I put in a electrical components factory here, and we got a big warehouse here which is going to deal with all the inputs and outputs, and I've put an electronics assembly hall here with a road cargo office there, and I think there's another one just here. So what we're going to be doing is bringing stuff in and out to here to deliver it. And I've also put in a trolley bus stop here. And what I've also done is put in a trolley bus stop here, so that what we'll be able to do is bring the workers down from this area here. I mean, the steel's running out quite nicely now. So that is the situation here. I mean, my trolley bus connections are being made overall generally, things are going reasonably well. I mean, what I do need to think about though is how I'm going to connect up this area here. And I'm thinking that because I've got power coming down to here, we've got a little bit of road there that needs building, isn't it? So I'm just going to drop that in there. And I think there's not much traffic on this road, so I think we're going to go that way as well. And what we'll do is use this for the power connection. I did consider going this way, but I think this is the more busier of the roads, so I don't really want to disturb that. And I think that's enough of an intro. Apologies, it was a bit longer than I originally planned. Now, something I do really want to do is down here, and if I've got everything worked out rightly, this guy is still, what are you building? It's just, okay, so he's still building that little bit there, because what I want to do is build in this area here. And I think I've worked out a way I can do this with signals, and it's purely theoretical. And what I'm thinking is putting you there, and I think that should be the only change I need to do, because what that will do is allow the construction train to come in here, and it shouldn't interfere with the what we call it. You're actually on the way back. Okay, let me just which one was it now? Because I think I'd rather let this guy work on the... Yeah, so what we're going to do is just cancel that for the moment. One, that means the train gets back quicker. And then what I want is for you to start building this. So hopefully he's going to come out here. And what I want to do is something similar here as well. What I don't want is the construction train having to go all the way out there and come all the way back. So, and I was also thinking that this might be a way to actually bring the coal or iron into here, but using trains. So what we're going to do is come out here. Okay, if I can get rid of you like that, and if we can get this in. It's a little bit further out than I was hoping for, but I'll take it. I'll just accept that. Let's get back to here. Why is that train stopped? Are you doing anything? Yes, he is. Always gets me a bit worried when the trains stop like that, but what he should do is be able to build through here. I mean, it's going to be a bit slow to start with. Just speed him up a little bit, because I want to make sure that that passenger train can get past. He can't get past at the moment while this one's here, but once he moves out onto this section of track, the passenger train should... It comes to the passenger train. I just want to watch this. So here's stop while he's building this section of track here. So he's doing okay. This is purely theory, so I'm kind of, yeah. I think it's once they get past this crossing, they kind of get a bit of a jazz on. Now what he should be able to do is come back this section of track and go out that way, and that will release the passenger train. Come on. I think there's a little bit of a slope there as well. You go, and then the passenger train goes. Okay, so that's looking good. But eventually what I'll do is to build this double bridge here, where I have two construction trains on here. So we have two construction trains over here. Oh, it's a global market report. What's the price? Price of oil's rising. It's going to bankrupt me eventually. Clear some of these off here. Fire. if we come over to here, I just want to see what's going on over here. The train's pushing through here. I think I can take this section of track out now. Be very careful I don't accidentally, because this is a construction route, and so what that means, I can now got an open line here. We'll build a line through here because we need to build this down here to make the connection to go out that way. I'll make sure. Where's the train? You should be going out there and building that. Yeah, there he is. It's the problem is the distance now is getting quite long. Okay, right, the construction train is going out that way. Just want to see. The passenger train is gone to there. This is what I want to check. This guy's going to get into here. Right, so he's going to now work his way up there. Here comes the passenger train. So we're just going to wait here and see how this will actually work. What if I get the signals up? What you'll see is the pattern of the signals. What you see is this train should come here, and he can go straight through. You can see that signal went white, a kind of silver color, because this train is on that section of the track. So even though technically they shared the same bit of track, the game decided that that was safe to be able to do it. And I think that is a big difference, because if that was brought in a recent update, where before the train would have come here and stopped because the construction train was in this distance. But with the recent change is if there's a safe way through, the trains are able to do that. So let me just keep going here. You're still stuck. I don't think you can. Can't actually send him to anywhere. Then again, he's a bit dated. See if we can force him to. Oops, thank you, game. See if we can force him to the vehicle depot. That just doesn't always work. No, we're just gonna have to sell him. I'll just sell you. I mean, done a little bulldozer. So now the other thing is, I've got an open hole here. And what I want to do is send you to here, because once I've got, say, about 1.2, 1.3 million, what I want to do is buy this template here. I'm not going to click on it because in the last part I made a bit of a mistake. And what I want to do is buy this tanker, the template for this tanker, because there's two types of ship that I'm going to be using quite a lot of. One is going to be the tanker, and another one is going to be like the river cargo ship. Although if I probably could get this template, because we're going to be shipping quite a lot of goods up and down the various rivers, so that's going to be a little bit of fun. Let's see. I don't think so. Here comes the snow. So we're already starting to get a pretty good steel industry going now. Just go up this, get up to the top here. I want to keep an eye on what's going on here. What jobs have you got? You've got quite a lot of jobs being built in here. Got a gas station here, but it's got no power supply. So, and again, this is the reason why I'm trying to get this stuff built. I think we'll get Island Farm, and it's a long stretch for Havant Construction, but I think we can do it. And we need to get this built now. And you go all the way back to there. So I think if we can put, I think we'll put Gravelton on it, and possibly Winchester Construction. And hopefully I can find. Now I know there's that one there. Let me just see if that connection has actually been made. Maybe I made a mistake and there's two missing. Oh, there's one. There it is there. You can just see. It runs out to about here. I don't think I can allocate you, can I? That's okay. We'll just get you built. Put you on Winchester. We can get you put on the expansion construction. If I can get the power into here, I can get the put workers in here, which gives me the fire protection. Actually, is this being built? No, this is not being built. It's a little bit of a failing on my part. I think we'll bring up the Ireland Road crew and the put Haven't supplies on, and let me see. I haven't really checked my construction offices down here, because these guys down here are kind of half running out of work. Well, he isn't, definitely. But I know Haven't construction is tending to run a bit low on work. Yeah, see, he's got a few things. I think for the winter, if I can get, probably give you that there, like there. And you can probably put an assist on that, and that, and that. I know it's a bit over the top, but I just want to get this built. Actually, there's something else that I could probably put Haven't construction on there. And who's on this one? Yeah. That means that these guys are probably a little bit out of work. Oh no, you're working on it. The gas station. Where's the gas station? Don't remember building a gas station. Oh yeah, this is this gas station out here. Another gas station here. I really need to start getting fuel to these gas stations, but the problem is I don't really want to push my fuel distribution system. I'm sure I've got a spare. Yeah, we are. This is the one I was looking for. We buy a couple of oil tankers. See what we got oil tanker wise. Want something that's got quite a lot of speed so that it can move. So you're the best ones here, the Zills. Oh, look at this. We're going to pop a couple of these. And you're going to have to pick up here. And you're going to pick up fuel. You're going to come to there. I don't think there's much point in delivering fuel to that, but we'll start with 20%. So if we get fuel out to here, that will make things a little bit better. Is anybody working on this area here? No. Okay. Petrograd construction. Yeah. You've got nothing here at the moment. I think we'll send the groundworks team out. And I think if we put Portsmouth South construction on that, if we can get the power to here. Let me just check. Is this a proper substation or not? No, this is just a splitter. So what we're going to need to do is put in a power distribution office up here, haven't we? Got that. Let me see. Kind of inclined to put a small one here. I mean, eventually we'll put one in here. Is this road finished? This road's finished. I think that's what I was actually waiting for. So we're going to put in a power transformer. I think if I can put in, say, something a bit small like that, can I get this? A little bit worried about. Maybe if we put it about there. Needs flat terrain, yeah. Maybe just kind of spin that out a little bit there. We'll go mud. Of course, what we're going to have to do is extend this power connection out. We'll stay the full 18. Oops. You're going to have to kind of come across the back. Ah, come on. Like that. And think we'll put, let me see, Portsmouth East construction on this with the supply crew. And we'll do exactly the same to here. Just put the supply, we're out of range now, so well, we can put groundworks on it, and let's put that out there. See, until we get fuel out to here, there's no point really using this construction office. That's the problem, because it's just going to be fairly inefficient. This guy's rolling in here, which is good. Let's just see here. I've got gas. I'm sure I planned a gas station up here. Yep, it's just nobody building it. Okay, we need to get Island Crew and Winchester Construction on that. Because again, we need the gas station up here to get this working efficiently. Because the problem at the moment is any vehicle up here that runs out of gas is got to go all the way down to here. Where is it? Where's the gas? No, all the way over to here actually. Wow, that's a long way. Let's check the food situation. How's the food here? Yeah. I mean, we've still got over 1,000 tons of crops in there. Of course, this is all the crops we've got for this area, so that 570 tons of food is going to have to last virtually all the way through to July next year. Let me just see, check over here. And they got 325, and we've still got loads of, yeah, I'm liking this, because that will ensure that the food supply here is going to hold up. Any problems? Sport and culture. I've got a feeling that part of this problem with sport is the fact that in winter certain things don't work properly with relation to sport. So it's just 700 odd. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do anything about these. We're getting 68 escapees, but there's absolutely nothing I can do about that. I think while I've got a little bit of time, I think I want to plan a little bit of what we call it, Winchester. I think I'd like to get a row of houses here, working along here. I think we're going to go slightly high rise for this, so we're just going to go modding. Kind of, actually, maybe we're. This is 600. Wow, 165 tons of there. 570 tons of prefabs, and it's a hot water tank. It's 48. It's a bit of a hard decision. So yes, you're 231 and you're 16. So if I have 2 of these blocks, that gives me 32 cubic meters. But now it would give me 460 residents. Oh, we got. I think I've built that before. It doesn't really work. This has only got 22 workers. What have we got here? Wow. Yeah, that gives me 552 for 38 tons. That's a kind of a little bit OP, isn't it? Let's have a look at it. I actually quite like the look of this. So I think we're going to just put this on this corner here, because it's right. It's got a kind of road connection here. But one thing I will need to do. What's the loading on here? Yeah, 71%. So it kind of gives me about 80 odd left to do. So I think we'll just put one of those in there, and then go back to these blocks. going up here, because these are going to need footpaths. So I won't be able to put anything like that here. So say for argument's sake I create a line of one. I mean, I don't want this city to be too densely populated, because, well, when I say populated, the buildings, because what I wouldn't mind doing is kind of putting some, possibly some parks in or something like that eventually. And if we put another one there, so that kind of builds this in here. And then if I argument's sake, I put a footpath there, and that can run up to there. Kind of would like to have a footpath through here. Do something like that, and then run across to there. And maybe we'll just put a little connection in there. And hopefully my road crew, I'll give them a little bit of a help. This is the road crew. Yeah, he's got so many jobs to do. Why are you not doing footpaths? I wonder. Missing transport workers needed for. So do I have a problem with no bus? No. Okay, so I don't actually have a bus here. That's a bit unfortunate. Okay, let me just. I think we'll just hook out one of these. You can go back to there. And what we're going to do is just buy my inclination is to go for something like a small minibus or something like that. I'll just go back to my favorite one here, because yeah, we're just going to put a small minibus in, because what I want this guy really to do is focus on like just building roads and footpaths. I don't want him stealing large amounts of workers just to get things done. Distribution office here is still kind of going a little bit pretty well. We've got a vehicle here, so they must be fairly happy with the situation. Let me just, yeah, 50%. Yes, we've got plenty of bricks up here, plenty of prefabs, and a little bit of steel. Just want to make sure you're on the right ones. Palace steel. Actually, you're on the wrong one. Steel. I want you on here now for steel. See, at the moment we can get mechanical components and electro components from here. I'm kind of. What's this one here? What are you connected to now? Yeah, you're on Gravelton as well. So what are you working on? Actually, nothing. Okay. Power is what I want. Let me just see if I can get that built. If I can find that power cable again. Get you built there. This is built out to here. So we're getting very close now for getting this up here. Actually, what I do need is this built here. We've also got this gas station here that's got no power supply as well. So once this power supply is in, we can bring this power station, gas station online here. We got something there that's just working. This is nearly built. I really need this built. I think we're the island, but get you on here. I need more construction offices. I don't want Winchester construction on this. I think what we're going to have to do is book. Can't remember where are you? Distribution office here with absolutely nothing in it. I think I built this in preparation for shipping the fuel up that way as well. Portsmouth Construct Delivery. Who are you? Oh no, you're the North crew, road crew. I think you're the guy who's very industriously building out this way, aren't you? Let's just put on this one. Yeah. And I think I'd like you... Yeah, you're working on that road up there. So I think the islands road crew are kind of doing the same thing. Yeah, I mean, they've got so many roads, they just don't know what to do with them all. And let me just come over here. How are you guys doing? Yeah, you've got... I think what we're going to do is we're just going to assign you out to here. And I think I can get you coming that way. I don't think I've actually built the footpath into here, haven't I? I was waiting for this road to be built. This is where I get very disappointed. Oh, no. Kidding me. Actually, I think... Yeah, it's... Oh! A little bit worried there. I thought I was going to... actually, get rid of you. Don't need you. A footpath there and footpath there. I think this one's actually got a road. I've got to somehow get road out here now. And if I can get you across to... Come on. You can do it, game. So we can now connect this up here. I want you assigned to your Gravelton. I want you on Island Road Farm Crew and Portsmouth Nut Road Farm Crew. We need to get this footpath in because we got this store here and you're going to store quarried stone. We got that built now. So we're getting close. We're getting very, very close to starting at least a minimal production, because even if I get this going and I can just draw, say, this office, or other offices can just draw the gravel from here for construction, and then eventually once I got this built we can fill this in, but I just need this power. So that is coming together really nicely. What we got here, got things going along here. In the next part we will be planning this farming area here, but I just don't want to do it in the winter. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk you through what I want to do here in the way of setting this farm up, and then that will give you guys an opportunity to tell me where I'm going wrong. Now the idea, in fact, what I can do is I can put in the first kind of large fields that I want to put in. What I'm thinking is I'm going to put in like 3 large fields, maybe down a little bit like that, and we're going to have 3 really large fields across like that. And then the idea is that I will put a rail link up to here with and then the idea is I'm going to put a rail link up into here. I'm just going to slow the game down. I think it's running away with me a little bit. The idea is I'm going to put a rail link up to here, and what we'll do is put in the modded silo, this big one with 5,400 crops. But of course this doesn't actually have a rail connection. So what I'm going to have to do is put in a rail platform in, connect this silo up, then connect it to a cargo loading station. The reason I'm going for the full 5,400 is that I want to get this farm up and running. Well, it won't be for this spring coming, but it'd be preferably something like the next spring before the rail tracks are built. So what I want to be able to do is really build this farm up so that it will harvest around 5,000 tons of crops a year, because we're going to push the fields out this way eventually. So the idea is that I can harvest completely into this warehouse. In the short term, I can use trucks to bring the crops down to here to get this food factory going really fast. And once I got this farm supply, and we can then start using this to push food out to, say, down to Petrograd down here as well. So that's what I'm thinking, is to have like the farm here with the rail connection, and of course a couple of distribution offices so that we can really get stuff in. And so all the crops will go into one big silo, which will then be eventually have rail. And one thing I do need to do is replace this thing here. In fact, because this is an awkward position and I need to build this rail line through. So I'm kind of thinking we've got a road connection out here. And maybe it's time to push out. I'm kind of inclined now just to use these very small distribution offices with say 3 vehicles in instead of using vehicle things. So what I'd like to do is have, say, you here like that, and we'll just put a gravel link in there, and I think we'll assign you to him, this guy. Because I've done virtually all the leveling I need round here going out this way, because we got the tunnels and everything out to here, and I've then finished the farm, which is the main reason I've got this here. And if I build another one over here, I can still carry on leveling out this way there, and then having it here will allow me to work out here, because I can't go much further this way because I've got it. And then once this is built, I'll move the excavator and the tractor. What I'll do is I'll move the excavator and the bulldozer from here, demolish this, and then I'll put the rail connection in to here, which will then give me the road the supply out that way. Right, I'm aware time is pushing on, and so what we're going to do is we're just going to go down. Just want a quick check on the way through. Yep, I think this is going to look pretty good actually, and I just want to see whether I've developed any problems down here with my while I'm talking, I bet you he's run out of jobs. Yep, bit of a fail there. I shouldn't have been talking so much, should I? And what we're going to do is just get you building in here now. And of course we're going to need to do this double crossover here. I'm getting close to the 1.3 million that I was looking for, because, well, I think this would probably be a good point to stop. Be very careful, don't click by accident. Wow. So it's actually going to cost me $1 million now. The price of these templates are going up all the time. I'm going to go for it. It's going to. And if I start to go bankrupt, I'm going to go bankrupt. So what I want to do is really get some people working in here. Fingers crossed. We'll go for it. And we'll set the blueprint up. We're going to build a hopper ship. And of course what I'm going to need to do now, which is the reason why I sent this little guy down here, is I'm going to hook you to there, and you're going to deliver to there. So you're going to pick up steel there, you're going to unload steel, and what I'm going to do is set you to about 10%. One thing I have noticed is the bigger your economy comes, the more complex it does. It's the longer it takes for these guys to get started. So the idea is that I'm not going to need this hopper ship for quite some time. So this would be like a very slow burn process. But I've got all the resources. The only thing I haven't got in here is the steel. So what we'll do is we'll get a little bit of a trickle of steel in here, start to build the ship and get things going. All I'm going to do now is hope I don't go bankrupt, but that's the way it is. My train is kind of chugging along through here, and hopefully this will get finished. Anything else that's kind of not working? Groundworks, you need to go on to haven't construction, so I need that finished. I don't really want to build anything else here. What have you got here? Who doesn't have a lot of work to do? You don't really have any buildings to do, so maybe we'll just kind of use some of your other stuff, get things going. Okay, these guys have been super efficient. I've actually got a workforce in here, but I've got nothing to be delivered. Okay, I'm going to need to think about this. It caught me a little bit by surprise. We got chemicals. We got loads of chemicals. I mean, it'd be really nice to get some electro components going, but I'm going to have to import plastics. I don't really want to do that until that money's built up a little bit more. But I think we can get this going. I mean, the workforce can't get in here quick enough, can they? Let me just see. I need a distribution office that will supply steel to here. I think I was planning on building a distribution office here, but let me see. What I could do is actually, you don't need that. How much steel do you need? Well, you don't need a lot of steel, do you? It's only literally 15 tons of the stuff. I think what I was going to do is just deliver directly to the factory here, because I couldn't see the point of putting an open store in here. So I think what we're going to do is you've got to steel as a pickup point, haven't you? Yeah, so what I can do is put you there. You're going to unload steel, and I'm going to give you the full. Actually, we'll put you say about 50%. That's 7.5 tons. And I think what we'll do is we'll give you what we got here, a couple of covered holes. Yeah, so what I need is a second one of the not covered hole, open hole. Stop that. Nearly bought the wrong one. You got 16 tons of steel. Okay, I'll put you in there. And what you're going to do is deliver the chemicals to there. You don't seem to have a lot to do, so I mean, I really do need to sort these distribution offices out. The chemicals will be in here. So if I add you to there and put you there, you can pick up the chemicals there and unload chemicals here, and we'll set it at say 10%, because this is a big warehouse and we better set this to limit here. Chemicals 36 tons, probably a bit too much, so we're just gonna knock that back a little bit to say 18 tons. And that should... all I've got to do then is sort out the plastics. And probably... I don't know who can import plastics. You can't, can you? My hopper ship here, bringing in... I'm still having to import crops to keep my industries going. I'm hoping that if things go well all the way through to July, and Gospel's able to feed itself. If I can get to July and these have got surpluses in, then I can suspend this shipping kind of thing here. And okay, let me just see. Let me just take a quick look at my economy. Oh, that's because I bought that crazy template, wasn't it? Okay. Let me see. And somebody quite rightly pointed out that I am very dependent on tourism at the moment for my general income. I think what I want to do is make it quite clear that the idea of this series is to experiment with game mechanics. So this is the reason why I wanted tourism in here. But I'm not going to put tourism in anywhere else except when I've possibly got a bigger city somewhere else, because I want to experiment with tourism with respect to aircraft and tourism with respect to trains. And this of course explains why I'm kind of going all out for trolley buses here as well, because I think if you don't experiment with the mechanics, you can't get a feel for how they work, and I think that's quite important. So that's the idea of why I'm kind of doing some of these things, which I know some of you guys who want to really min-max things may kind of drive you a little bit crazy, and I apologize for that, but I just want to see how different things can work. And if you don't try these different things, because you've got to remember this game is still in early access, so every update comes out, the mechanics change slightly every single time. And that's something you do need to kind of be aware of. This guy's actually doing quite well. Anyway, I think this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we will sort out the plastic supplies to my electro component factory here, because if we can get a nice steady supply of electro components coming in, that means that what I'll be able to do then is stop importing electro components, and that will make a big difference. Just, yeah, having constructions kind of doing their business here. So this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. And until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.